Everyone should be a fat liberationist.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Nadia. I hope you're all doing really well. We're gonna look at some fat acceptance TikTok today with maybe one of the wildest fat acceptance takes I've heard yet.
I am pet sitting a very sweet dog, and the owner is a personal trainer. And when I tell you that when I saw her and smelled the gym equipment in her home, I was sent back to middle school and breathed through it. But I would love to just revisit some things that she has hanging in her space.
She has captioned this video, "Come with me as I heal my PE/diet culture trauma in 2 minutes." And now we're about to watch her go through someone else's home and take personal offense to different parts of it.
Fit happens. No. You can have results or excuses, but not both. No. Positive vibes only. No. We can do it. No. Keep calm, eat healthy, and exercise every day. No.
Maybe I'm wrong here, but off the gate, none of this is what I would consider diet culture or problematic messaging. Let's not forget, she's in someone else's home right now. So these are personal reminders, or maybe even she has clients that she trains in her home gym. Either way, these are not messages for her dog sitter.
High quality, high fiber choices. No. Don't count calories. Make calories count. Be an A eater, not an F eater. No. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. No. Did you earn stars today? No, I am the star.
Not only did I not really hear any diet culture-y type messaging, but I actually heard some really solid messages in there. If you're comfortable you're not growing is a solid reminder. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, is also a really good thing to wake up and think about. Yet, there wasn't one message here that she didn't know.
No, 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 no.
And honestly, I'm not even gonna show the next part because she went into the daughter's bathroom and showed us some messages that this woman's daughter had written on her mirror. And we're not gonna look at a teenager's personal reminders to themselves, but we will watch the message this TikToker has for the daughter.
I love you, baby girl. Don't listen to anything that your mom is teaching you, please, around food or body. You're beautiful, just as you are.
Don't listen to anything your mom is teaching you around food or body, says the fat liberationist. I think she gave herself away when she said,
I am the star.
There are a lot of narcissistic tendencies on display with the fat activism we watch, and belittling is one that we see a lot and definitely here. It's this attempt to discredit or mock anyone who thinks different from their group. It's a protective mechanism. When your ideology isn't rooted in any logical or rational foundations, your options for defending your beliefs are a lot more limited and juvenile. Exhibit A.
Whoop, we found more in the pantry this time. If this was for immunity, this was for dinner, and this was for grubrum, regeneration, and this was for No.
Before we watch this next one, I'm gonna preface it by saying I was really surprised to see this.
How do you eat healthy without going on a diet? Because I feel like if I'm not conscious about what I'm eating, I feel like shit. But then if I'm conscious about what I'm eating, it turns into a diet. Let me know.
The reason this surprised me is she has been pushing intuitive eating on her account for about a year now. A lot of her account is about recovery, but a lot of her content is about fully indulging cravings and not restricting at all, which is a big part of intuitive eating. And what that has looked like for her has been donuts, pizza, cookies, greasy takeout. I'm not in recovery, but I know what it feels like to be living on ultra-processed, highly palatable foods. It feels awful. And for someone who's been drinking the TikTok Kool-Aid, saying things like,
if you ask someone why they think being fat is bad and they tell you it's because it's unhealthy, immediately stop listening to anything else they have to say. If you don't believe me, Google the obesity paradox.
So yes, if you work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fat phobic.
There are tons of reasons why people lose weight. They're valid, but they're also fat phobic.
The fact that she's even acknowledging unhealthy foods impact her seems like a big step in the right direction to me.
Everyone should be a fat liberationist. It's really quite simple. Everyone in a society that has the system of fat phobia within it, which is most westernized or colonized areas, is going to be negatively impacted.
I don't think everyone should be a fat liberationist, and to not be part of their club doesn't mean you're against them. I feel like they're constantly trying to reduce their messaging down to a sort of appeal to emotion. It usually sounds like, don't you think people, regardless of their size, deserve dignity and respect?
Do fat people not deserve to be treated equally? Do fat people not deserve to be treated with humanity?
And of course, that's easy to agree with. But that is sort of a Trojan horse for a lot of insane anti-science and anti-health rhetoric. You signed on to be a good person, and now you're arguing with doctors about whether weight has anything to do with health.
No matter your size, fat liberation benefits you. Imagine what it would be like if we were all liberated from the idea that our bodies have to be smaller or look a certain way in order for us to live our best lives.
There is a difference in messaging that tells you that you need to look like Kendall Jenner to live your best life, and messaging that tells you that you will lose access to more and more quality of life at different stages of obesity. One of these messages is a lie, and one of these messages is a harsh reality. Liberating yourself from reality is a really nice way to say delusion.
Imagine if everybody could wear what they wanted to wear without having to worry whether or not they'll be able to find it in a store near them or not. Imagine spending your time worrying about anything other than your body.
Thinking about our bodies is smart. Our bodies and health give us access to our entire lives. Obsessing about them is what can lead to issues. And her whole quick pitch for why fat liberation benefits us all could basically be boiled down to clothes and feelings. We could all wear whatever we want and think about anything besides our bodies. Sounds like a really childish vision of liberation, sort of like a kid who says, when I grow up, I'm gonna eat whatever I want and wear whatever I want, and nobody can stop me. Most of us get out on our own and realize that there's a reason our parents didn't let us sit down and eat the whole package of Oreos. It would be prudent for fat activists to acknowledge that there's a really good reason people are out here thinking about their bodies. And it's not because we're all bigoted or just haven't seen the light, which is basically what this next TikTok is implying.
Some of us are catalysts. And because of that, you have to accept not being liked. And when I say this, I mean you have to accept that some people will be viscerally turned off by your light, and that actually is your purpose. By you existing, you remind people where it is that they are showing up in lack.
Splotchmaker is stitching this, and she's captioned it, "She's never felt so validated in her whole life," and tagged it with fat liberation. And the message delivery here is feeling very holier than thou.
By you entering somebody's space, you are a reflection of how much of this life they have yet to occupy and own. And that is a grating feeling. And for most, it's much easier to look at that reflection and put that responsibility on you than do the work themselves. But for those select few, they will be grateful for a lifetime.
She's related this to her fat acceptance work. So she's implying that those who react negatively to her fat activism are just not ready to face the deficits in themselves and choose to lash out at her and her light instead. So it's not because there's mountains of evidence-based research demonstrating why it's a terrible idea for humanity to embrace obesity. It's because she's a bringer of truth that the world just isn't ready for yet.
You are spare parts, aren't you, bud?
I want to finish the fat acceptance part of this with maybe one of the wildest takes I have heard yet from this community. And I need to keep this YouTube friendly, so forgive me for the over editing here.
The fat phobics are at it again on Twitter, talking about how they're not fat phobic and proceeding to say that if they have to lift someone's tummy up to get to the you know what, they don't want it. And it's like, why would you go on Beyonce's internet and declare that you're bad at... Nobody wants to sleep with you anyhow with that kind of attitude.
So if you didn't catch that, I'm gonna try to set up the math here. If person X makes the statement, I am not fat phobic, but then person X follows this statement with, but if I have to move your tummy to be intimate with you, then I don't want to be intimate with you. Well, now person X has just proven that they are in fact fat phobic. And this is the extension to the dating preferences conversation that I just didn't expect. It's already inappropriate to try to demand attraction from the people around you, especially in the way it's framed usually. It's not a preference, it's fat phobia. And let's not forget, fat phobia is something this group actually wants the world to take serious, something they've deemed a civil rights issue. But then you're gonna create a line in the sand like this line, the one where what someone wants to do with you under the covers determines whether or not they're fat phobic.
That's a Texas size 10-4.
I could not get that TikTok out of my head, so I had to share it. We are gonna end with the fat acceptance there though, and take a look at a weight loss progress. She has lost over 100 pounds and she is still on her weight loss journey, which is part of why I wanted to share this one. I know a lot of people on here are currently losing weight, so it's nice to see people not at the finish line yet. We are gonna go ahead and call this video here. Thank you so much for coming to hang out on another one with me and making it all the way to the end. If you are still here, let me know your thoughts down below, and if you liked the video, give it a like. It really does help a lot. I hope everyone is having good workouts and walks or whatever else you're doing while you listen to this. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.